So you've done a podcast and you want to create some content from that podcast. One of the great things you can do is to create an ebook or a lead magnet that you can give away for free on your website, or you can advertise it in your podcast and people can download that and get some more information. But one of the beautiful things is when you're creating a podcast, you're actually creating a lot of content because you're speaking. When you're speaking, we speak at around 120 words a minute, up to 160 words a minute. So we're creating content quite fast. 10 minutes of speaking is a lot of typing. So how can we turn a podcast into an ebook? It's relatively simple. Today I'm going to show you some tools that I use quite simply. This is my podcast, or one of my podcasts, Leaders in the Line of Fire. And I'm going to take the one about strategies for personal leadership. I'm going to turn that into a book. So the first thing I need to do is I need to transcribe the podcast. And for that, I use Castmagic. Now, there's a lot of different tools that will do the transcriptions for you. Doesn't matter which one you use, it's up to you. And there's plenty of tools that will just take dictation and type it out for you as well. But I find this is quite good. What I've done is gone through and you can see it's added my name so it knows it's me. And we go through the whole story, etc. and so on. It goes down right down here. And I can just, cut and paste, or I can download a transcript. Now, I need to take that and take it from spoken word into written word. And the easiest way I've found to do that is actually to use Chat GPT. Now, using Chat GPT 4, what I do is I go in here and I say, I want to create an ebook from my spoken podcast content. Can I post sections in and have you turn them into printed words without changing my style, examples, or stories? Because I don't want it to remove the stories that I've used. And I still want to keep my style. And that's really, really important to me because that's what I want. But I still want to make it into more a book style than a spoken style. And there is a very serious difference between the two of them, as you will know if you've ever tried to, read a transcript compared to reading a book. They are just noticeably different. So it says, yes, please post sections in. So I'm posting the first section in here. Now there's a little bit of space here because I copied and pasted it from a text file, and the text file had line breaks in it. But it really doesn't matter. ChatGPT does not care. So I posted that one in there. It's then gone, okay, converting your spoken word into written form, and it's come back with this here, leadership lessons from the surf, personal anecdote. Long time ago, as part of a life-saving organization. Right. So if I come back here, you'll see that right here is actually a long time ago, I was a member of a life-saving organization. And so it's taking the actual content. We can see it's doing its job properly. Now, I went through and I pasted in the number 1 because I had 7 things, and then away we went. Here we go. Here's the points for the first one, prioritizing well-being. Next section, and then ChatGPT, aim high, setting and achieving ambitious goals, and so on and so forth as we work our way through. So we're now getting it from spoken into written word. We've got some text that we can use. It's also formatted in quite a good way. We've got our little headings and our sections. So we still want to turn it into an ebook, and that means we need to go to the next step. Well, I use Canva always, and I went through and found a business template for an ebook, which you can find just by doing a search. And I can, just do the usual thing here. I can actually just type, and I can adjust that out a bit so it all fits. And then move my words across, and so on and so forth, until I get it where I want it to be. And then I can rename this. This is the name of the podcast. And of course, I want to put my name in here. And there we go. And of course, I can, go in and choose a picture of something that's fitting, the topic. There we go, leadership in the line of fire. Put a picture of fire in there, and we go. Okay, so I've done my cover, nice and simple. It's already there, it's all laid out. Why should I reinvent it? Remember, it's only an ebook, a freebie that I'm giving away. I shouldn't be spending hours, and you shouldn't be spending hours of your life worrying about design. That's the whole point of Canva. Stop worrying about design, let the experts do it, pick a template that fits your styling. Okay, I come into here. One thing I do notice is it's blue and orange. Now, orange is one of my colors. So if I go up here and I go into my brand set, I can see my orange there. Now you'll see there's a slight difference down the bottom here. If I go change all, it now matches my brand colors. And if I come here and choose the background, I would choose, say, black, and I want black up the top. Okay, we're now kind of coming into my brand style. I come here and change this to a shade of gold, and I'll change this to a darker gold, again keeping in line with my brand colors. And then I can come down here and change this one to black. And see here it says change all. If I do that, it'll go through and change all of my chapter headings, etc. Okay, so now my colors are right and my headings are right. The colors looking good, nice and easy. So introduction, this is blank data that was already in there. I can write something original in there, or I can get ChatGPT to write me something to put in there to go with my lead magnet. Coming down chapter 1, leadership lessons from the surf, a personal anecdote. Now, remember, we came back up here. There we go. Leadership lessons from the surf, personal anecdote. So I've copied that and I've pasted that in. And the one thing you see here says instinctively swam out to assist. Now, let's see, swam out to assist. There it is there. So I've still got all this content that I didn't use because it's not fitting on the first page. And look, that's a common problem. So I then need to come down to the next page and put it in here. And one of the things you've got to understand is sometimes there's not a page there for you to use. So you may need to add a blank one in. So one thing you can do is just go duplicate page, click on there, press the delete key, grab this and actually move it up. And you can, adjust this in and out a bit. Obviously this is set to a certain size because it goes with the theme. And then I can just paste that in. And of course it's gone bold because it's gone to the default document settings. So if I switch back, actually, what do we got here? So if I click on this, it is PT Sans 11. So let's go into here, select all, PT Sans, and I just want to type 11, enter. And now here's the rest of my story. I just need to go enter, enter, enter to put my breaks in for my paragraphs. And hey presto, now there's the whole of the first chapter. Now there's a little bit of space here at the bottom. If I wanted to, I could probably take a bit of this. So if I copy this bit, cut it. So, and then I come up here and go enter, paste. You'll see that still fits there, and I lost the T. That always happens to me. And then come down here and just tidy this up, get rid of that extra T that's sitting there, and hey presto. Now you notice the page numbers are not automatic, so that's something just to be aware of. Some of these things you can do automatically and some you might need to manually do, it's no biggie. And of course the picture we've got here doesn't really fit with what we're doing. So if I go into my photos, surf, I might choose a picture of surf and just drag it into there. And because this story is tied together, I'm going to use the same picture on both. Okay, now I can use a different one for different chapters. And in this case, this page that's here, I don't need this page anymore now because I've got chapter 1. It's all in there. And then this one where I had it originally pasted, I don't need that. So I can just click that and delete that. Now, I'm now ready for my next section. And this is where the template doesn't have enough pages for you to create the ebook. So you really want it to look the same. So let's go duplicate page. And then you'll see here a little arrow. So if I go down, it now puts it below. So now I'm going to go chapter 1 and I want chapter 2 and it is page 5. So remember we've got to manually change our page. And we can now come back to here and come into our next section. Scroll down to where we've got it. And we've got title, leading by example, prioritizing well-being. So if I come in here, select that, paste that, Actually, what I will do is just check the size. That's 14, because sometimes these things do not paste perfectly. Up to 14, and hey presto. And then of course the text is going to be different, so I can just take the text parts if I want to. I can take the whole lot, which is fine, or I can take sections. So I'm going to just take 2 sections because I don't want to overfill my area. And I'm going to go down there. I'm going to paste this in. I really need a space there, and I really don't want those numbers. So if I click on those and click up the top here and get rid of those, I can press enter to put a break in there. You can see the little lines coming up. That's just part of using the Grammarly plugin, which is separate to Canva. Now I can just bold, so just click and drag to do that, and then Control B to make that bold. Oh, well, I missed the E. There we go. And I want to highlight this one as well, so just bold that. And there we go. Now we've got 1, 2, and again, I need to add a page, don't I? But I want the page to look like this. So duplicate page, arrow down. Now we've got chapter 2. This is page 6. And I can come back here now and get my other 3. There. Come back to Canva. Paste it in. Select it. I'm just going to get rid of the numbers. Sorry, I don't want to do that. So click, click, enter, remove. I'll put a space in there again and remove that one. And then I've got to come through and just go, oops, select and Control B to bold it. Select and Control B to bold it, and select and Control B to bold. And there we go. So now chapter 2's in, but picture doesn't fit now. So well-being. So if I just search for a well-being type photo, so we've got yoga. So let's just drop that in there like that, and drop that in there like that. And hey presto, now it looks like yoga. Now, you don't need to choose your pictures that way. You could just carry on the whole theme of fire if I wanted to through the whole thing, and I could just use the same picture on every page. And that way I wouldn't need to change them, but it just illustrates what you're talking about, and it just makes people associate what you've got written with the picture, and there's that instant recognition that this page is going to be something to do with health, okay? And so on and so forth until you finish your book. You keep going back to here where you've done it. You copy and paste the sections and keep going. When you get to the end, you now need a file that you can share. So if you go into share, you're not going to print it. So you don't need a really big file. You want the smallest possible file, because you're going to email a link to people when they come to download this. So they'll go to fill out a form, you'll capture their email address, and then you'll send a link to this, because you do not attach a PDF to an email. You can't do that really well with mailing programs anyway, unless you're just doing it from your Google Mail or something. So if I go to download, I want it to be a PDF, and I want it to be standard, okay? I can flatten it, which actually, cuts down on, things sitting in layers, which they do in Canva. And I want all 6 pages, and then I'm going to download it. And then what I need to do to finish that off is actually name the file. So at the moment it's called Blue Business Guidebook, eBook. I need to name the file here, but also as this finishes getting ready for downloading, I'm going to need to actually go in here and rename it. So it's just downloading at the moment. I'll just wait for that to finish. And then I get my book. My book is all here. It's all done. It's all PDF. And I can just, if I drag this down here, you should be able to see that. I can rename that and give it a name. So leadership ebook.pdf. Enter. And there we go, it's renamed. So that's the process of converting a podcast or any audio into an ebook. It's relatively simple. It takes a little bit of time, but it's well and truly worth it. Having a lead magnet you can give people captures their email addresses and allows you to actually grow your business and grow your email marketing list, which becomes the most valuable thing you've got. It's all very well to say I've got 1,000 followers on Facebook or 1 million followers somewhere else. But if that platform changes the rules and they ban you, you've got no way to reach those people. Whereas if you have an email list, you can reach out yourself and do it. So it's very, very powerful. I hope you've enjoyed this lesson, turning a podcast or a audio into an ebook using a whole pile of tools, but especially Canva and Chat GPT. And I'll see you in the next lesson.